Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment of Beer Time. I'm your host, Ferris. Thanks for joining us. Now, pale ales are by far one of my favorite types of beer. You get a lot of variety in them. They're one of the, if you talk about chronologically, historically, one of the longer running styles of beer that are out there. And you can generally find a pretty good pale ale almost anywhere you go. So we're going to talk a little bit right now about Lost Coast's offering. This is their Arrgh Pale Ale. I've been a big fan of Lost Coast for a long time. They were one of my first introductions to the craft beer scene. Their Downtown Brown, Alley Cat Amber, all of their stuff is really solid. It's not just the California nativist in me talking here. This is pretty good stuff. One of the things I also kind of dig about them, as you can see here, is the Picasso-style art. All of their bottles come with this art on there. It's really nifty if you're into collecting beer bottles like yours truly is. A little bit of background on the beer itself, at least from what they have on here. This is a pint and 6 ounces. Brewed and bottled at Lost Coast Brewery and Cafe in Eureka. Ahoy landlubbers, no need to get out the plank. There's plenty for everyone. Our pale ale is unfurling her sails with pale malt, wheat, and Vienna for a warm maltiness. That should be pretty good. Wheat and Vienna malts are generally fairly hearty, fairly well-rounded. Should have a good flavor on that there. The hops are the main event in our pale ale, hopped with Cascade, grapefruit, citrus, centennial, floral, and lemon, and citra, grapefruit, lime, and passion fruit. We dry hop with the same 3 hops for an extra round of great flavor. Now, I want to touch on something here for a little bit here. In some of my other videos, especially when I'm talking about IPAs versus pale ales, both of them kind of are, if not cousins, then siblings when it comes to beer. They're both pale ales. IPAs generally tend to be more hoppy. In American craft brewing, what you'd find with a pale ale is a lot more for what you'd find back in England as a traditional IPA. So your alcohol by volume, your hop profile, your IBUs, all of them are going to be kind of in that same sort of flavor profile. So without any further ado, let's crack this baby open, see what we're up against. Using my big liter glass here. By the way, this type of glass is more set up for the German style beers like lagers, pilsners, and all that. But you know what? It's generally useful for almost everything else. And personally, unless it's a really fine beer like some of the Trappist stuff, I don't really buy into the shape of the glass kind of offering for all that sort of stuff. Even if you're drinking straight from the bottle, it's all going to taste fairly close to everything like that. If you're a purist, fine. Go for it. More power to you. Especially if you can keep track of that. But you know what? I got kids. Kids break stuff. I don't have time for that. Anyway, let's talk about the beer itself. Now, we got pretty good color on that. Good clarity as well, too. That's about what you'd expect for a pale ale. I'm not going to test lacing on there because, as you can see, it's pretty close to the top there, but the head is about what you'd expect for a good pale ale. Not pretty good consistency on there. It's right on the money. All right, let's have at it. Wow. So when they say that the hops play a real big part and they're the center stage, they're not joking around. But if you don't like a hoppy beer, do not despair. This is an excellent example of what hops can do for flavor. It's not bitter. It's not bitter at all. Lost Coast, you guys have done an excellent job of really going in and bringing those floral, fruity hop aromas right to the forefront. Now, if you're a super taster or something, there is that hop bitterness coming off the back end of it, but really what plays out to the forefront of that is that great hop palatability. You've got grapefruit, citrus stuff, lemons, limes, passion fruit, all of that right on there, and that's all done by hops. That's incredible. And by the way, this is my first time trying this beer. I know like I said a couple of minutes ago, I've had a lot of Lost Coast in the past. They're a great beer, good brewery. My first time trying this one, and I'm really impressed. This is fantastic. I could drink that all day. That's just so good. Now, let's get down to nitty-gritty brass tack stuff. Just consumer information. What's our ABV on here? Doesn't say it on the bottle, interestingly enough. If I'm talking specific gravity, off the top of my head, I'm probably looking at about 5.5, 5.6, 5.7 maybe. The flavor, so not exactly sessionable, but it's not going to knock you on your butt. If you're talking flavors, what you'd pair with this up with food, pale ales are generally pretty good all-around beers. They will go with almost anything. Barbecue, spicy food, seafood even. Depending on the type of food that you're dealing with. I wouldn't do this with a real delicate whitefish, for example, but maybe one of the oilier fish like mackerel. That would actually pair pretty decently well. Availability. I found this at Bevmo. Ran me about a little under $4. That's for 1 pint, 6 ounces. I don't know. I didn't see if they had any 6-packs of it. I don't know if Lost Coast sells 6-packs of it. I would encourage you, though, if you find this in your area, definitely pick it up. This is one of the best surprises I've had. Well, maybe surprise is a bad word. I kind of expected good things out of Lost Coast. This is one of the best experiences I've had on a cold taste for a beer. Just coming in blind, not knowing what to expect on it. That's really, really good. Now, there's not a lot of beers I dislike. Big surprise. So let's go into who this would appeal to. If you like pale ales, this is good. If you're a general beer drinker, this is also good. If you want to introduce to someone what a bunch of hops can do for your flavor without overwhelming... I swear I can talk. Without overwhelming them with hop bitterness, this is another great candidate for it. It's very balanced, very clean on the palate, and it's not overwhelmingly bitter. It will come off with a lot of those flavor pairings. The citrus, the passion fruit, the grapefruit, all of those great hop characteristics. I'm going to call it right here. I can't say anything else about this beer without repeating myself there, and I don't want you guys to deal with that there. I will say here that this is one of my all-time faves. And I can't say anything better than that. In the meantime, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more stuff. We'll always have something coming on over here. In the meantime, please drink responsibly. Thank you for joining us, and cheers.